and would later reconnect about 4 years later. That was about 2012, when I was go here, come here man for the Honorable John Mbadi, without a dream of ever becoming a politician. And it's actually at that point that Right Honorable Raila Odinga identified me, and I then joined the Youth League of the Orange Democratic Movement, then under the leadership of Rashid, who we later hosted in discipline, of course, within the party structures. I would then later, Honorable Speaker, be tried to run, of course, under ODM. In his wisdom, then he told me that I was a young man and I couldn't manage to run. I then shifted to the little known, the Kenya National Congress now later, that got me elected in this House, Honorable Speaker. Of course, the other one is history. But the experience I've had with that, the late Right Honorable Raila Odinga, you would actually think I've known him for the entire of my life of 40 years. Because you will sit with him, Honorable Speaker, and you hear stories about this country, things that you don't even know about your village. He'll tell you about your village, your clans, your grandfathers, everything about you. He had immense history. A man of his stature and age, you would be surprised, you will actually be mesmerized to learn that he knows so much and keeps it in his mind, remembers the names of people who struggled with him and even those who live, and even the history of, that before he even came before he was born. He was a man full of wisdom. Somebody said earlier this morning, Mr. Speaker, that we equate him to he's our current Nelson Mandela. But I also want to add, Mr. Speaker, that he carried all the attributes of the great men that this world has ever had. Not just Nelson Mandela. There is Mahatma Gandhi, Honorable Speaker. There is the late Sankara, Honorable Speaker. There is Martin Luther King. All those attributes that we admire in those great leadership, Honorable Speaker, befell or were bestowed on one man. And you would be surprised how one man is blessed. Blessed with a political acumen that is unmatched in this world.
How can your list of great men in Africa forget Nyerere and Nkrumah?
I am well guided, Honorable Speaker. Yes. I'll carefully evade Nkrumah part, but I'll applaud Nyerere, Honorable Speaker, for a discussion that I'll have with you in some other forum out of what I have read about him, Honorable Speaker. But how can one man be such blessed? Political acumen, you'll actually think he's a spirit. You will see a person with a mass following, loved freely, Honorable Speaker. But even above that, still able to keep his family together. For me, Honorable Speaker, today what I've seen is more, motivating. That amidst the political, terrains that happens in this country, Honorable Speaker, Right Honorable Prime Minister still kept his family together, his children together, went through school, and they are all able to maneuver around the terrains of this country, Honorable Speaker. That he even passed on, not very far away from the daughter, Winnie Odinga. So that's something that we really need to learn about. That when you continue moving around these murky games of politics, that we should not forget about our families. We should not run away from our families. We keep them together, because at the end of it all, during your sunset years, that very person that will be next to you is your blood. And that is what we've learned today, Honorable Speaker, in the entire story about Right Honorable Raila Odinga. Finally, Honorable Speaker, we really had to do so much for him, but we couldn't, as a people and as a nation, even appreciate him much. And even as he rests, I beg of him that may he find a soft place to land on, Honorable Speaker, to sleep, to lay his head on behalf of this country, because I don't really think that this country gave him the best that we ought to have given him, but may his soul rest in eternal peace. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Majority Leader, and like everybody else, you have 10 minutes.